Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Business Innovators Radio. I'm your host, Ralph Brogdon, and I want to welcome to the program today Robert Rolih. Robert grew up in a poor backwater village in a small country. He became a successful entrepreneur, cooperating with people you've heard of, like Chet, Holmes, and Tracy, to name a few. Then what happened is he lost most of his money because he trusted financial advisors and financial gurus. Well, that inspired Robert to invest 7 years of his life to research what's really going on behind the scenes of the financial industry. Today, Robert's mission is to help you get out of what he calls the rigged game of investing and help you avoid the costly mistakes that most investors make. So he's joining us live via Skype from his office in Slovenia. Robert Rolih, welcome to Business Innovators Radio.
Thank you for the introduction and for inviting me to your show. It's a great honor to be here.
Now, you say that you help people get out of the rigged game of investing. Why do you think that investing is rigged, and what exactly do you do to help people get out of it?
Yeah, I really believe that investing is a rigged game. So why? What do I do? It's very simple. You know that many people invest their money in order to finance their pensions, in order to build their assets, or just to get good returns. And these people think that when investing, their money works for them. But what I do is I show them that in reality, the investing game is rigged by the financial industry, and that 50 to 80% of all the potential investing returns stay in the pockets of the financial industry and financial advisors. This means that when you are investing, your money is not working for you, but unfortunately, it's only working for the financial industry. So I teach my clients how to get out of this rigged game and outperform 95% of investors in just a couple of hours per year. So it's not a couple of hours per day or per week, but it's per year. And people really love my seminars, love my teachings, because I give them a totally different perspective about investing that they are used to.
That sounds intriguing. Now, how did you learn how to do this? In your introduction, it says that you lost most of your money, I guess, trusting in the financial advisors and the people that you would usually look to for guidance. I guess they lost most of your money, and then you began this journey. But tell us more about how you got started doing this and when you made those breakthrough discoveries.
Yeah, it will probably surprise you that 10 years ago, I had no clue about investing. I had no clue about money management. I had no clue about personal finance. And even more, I hated these topics. So now you're probably wondering, how did I end up teaching people about them? Well, that's the story. I was born in a backwater village in a very small country called Slovenia. This is a very small country just near Italy and Austria, and the population of this country is only 2 million people. My parents were poor, and I had no special talents. I was average in school, and I only started to learn to speak English when I was a teenager. That is why I still have this funny accent. So if you were some kind of a neutral observer at the time, you would say that I will never amount to anything in my life. But, I had something that changed that fate. And that was the vision where I saw myself as a successful business owner in the future. As a teenager, I would go to the library in a town nearby and borrow business books. My favorite author was Tracy at that time. I would read these books about goal setting and business skills for hours and hours and hours. And in 2001, when I was a student living in a student dorm, an opportunity presented itself, and I started my own business from zero, from scratch. Well, in fact, it was not from zero. You see, I had two very big advantages over many other business owners. The first was that I had a phone, a landline, that was present in all the rooms in that student dorm. And the second one was an old personal computer that barely worked. So these were my advantages. But, as luck would have it, my business grew. And in 2005, I was able to organize my first seminar with the man himself, Brian Tracy. So the person whose books I read as a teenager was, in fact, a speaker at the event that I organized.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a major achievement for me. And Brian and I became friends at that event. And that was also the first year that I made my first six-figure personal income. So it was like, dreams coming true for me that year. But financial success in life also can bring a lot of problems. And my biggest problem was where to put all that money.
Now, a lot of people would say that's a nice problem.
Yeah, it's a nice problem. And, I didn't want to spend all of my money. I'm not this kind of person to just spend it all. So I knew that investing is a must. I knew that I should invest in order to finance my pension, in order to have some kind of financial security and so on. So, because I didn't have a clue about investing, I trusted, of course, financial advisors and gurus and so on. So I just gave them my money, or most of my profits that I made in my company. Year after year, I just gave that money to financial advisors, to money managers and so on. And after several years, I said to myself, okay, let's just check the status of my investments, Let's just check where am I at financially. And I ordered all the account statements. And when I opened those envelopes, my heart just stopped. My money was almost gone.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, is this really happening? I'm working hard every day and night at my business, and now my money is almost gone. I was devastated. Just imagine how would you feel if you lost most of your money. If you probably agree with me that it's not a good feeling.
I would not be in a good mood. So what did you do once you saw your account statements there? Did they give you a toll-free number to call and talk to someone? Or how do you even begin to address that?
This was some kind of lowest point in my life. This was really, I was totally devastated. So I was really lucky because at that time I organized my first seminar with Brian Tracy. And after the seminar, I asked him if he can join me for dinner, because I really wanted to talk to him regarding my problems. And we went to dinner, and I told him all of my problems. And then Brian Tracy said something that really changed my life. And maybe it can also change some other lives or listeners' lives and so on. He said, Robert, it doesn't matter how much you earn. All that matters is if you have the skills to manage your money and to invest it. And at that moment, this was the crucial moment of my life, I realized I don't have a clue about investing, I just blindly trust the financial advisors. And that changed everything for me, because at that time I made maybe the crucial decision of my life. I said to myself, no matter how much time and money it will take, I will become one of the most financially literate people in this world. So in the next 7 years, approximately 7 years, I invested heavily in my financial education. I visited all the financial seminars, investing seminars all around the world, in the United States, in UK, in Germany, and so on. I read more than 300 books. I started to research what is going on behind the scenes of the financial industry. I practiced, I used all kinds of financial products and so on. And during that time, I realized that financial industry rigged the investing game so cunningly that even experienced investors don't realize it. and they are losing most of their potential returns without even being aware of it. So that is why now my mission is, and I teach people, my clients, how to get out of this rigged game of the investing, and how to take control of their financial lives. I believe that it's very easy and it takes very little time. We only think it's hard because the financial industry brainwashed us to think that way. So this is
I guess I guess with most professional services, they need to build their clientele based on the assumption that we can do something that you don't know how to do or that you don't have the time to do. But in your case, clearly that didn't work. They did a worse job of managing your money than what you're able to do now with the way you've educated yourself.
Yeah, that's right. And people all around the world face the same problems. I have my seminars all around the world. Just a couple of weeks ago, I had a seminar in Canary Islands, in Spain. The audience was mostly Americans, so people from the United States. And I see that it's, the same problem all around the world. Whenever I go, it's the same problems. United States, United Kingdom, Europe, Asia, all the same problems. People are just trusting their financial advisors, their bankers, and so on, and they are basically just taking away their hard-earned money without them even being aware of it.
So you teach people how to get control in this area, and as you point out, it's an international problem. It's not just people in Europe, people in the United States, anyone who has money and cares about protecting their assets, can wake up one day and open their accounts and make the same discovery you made, that, all of a sudden I don't have any money. What is one thing that someone could do right now to begin to take the first step towards getting control of their finances without relying upon the gurus or the financial advisors or experts to tell them what to do? Is there anything that you could suggest that they could do right now just to see some immediate improvement in their ability to control their finances?
Well, if I just give a short advice, the best thing would be to stop listening to all the financial gurus, advisors, bankers, and so on. Stop reading the financial news, stop reading the financial websites, and just invest your money for the long run with the lowest possible costs, with the lowest possible commissions. For example, index funds are one of the examples. And this way you will get much better returns than most investors out there, even the professionals. So it's very simple. It's no nuclear science. It's very simple stuff. You just need to understand what is going on behind the scenes of the financial industry, and then you can take very simple steps to make it right.
So that makes sense. But I would imagine it took you 7 years to learn these simple steps. So you've obviously got a great deal more knowledge. How would working with someone like you greatly improve my chances for success as opposed to trying to figure this out on my own? I mean, I don't have 7 years to figure it out. How could I benefit by working with you?
Yeah, that's a good question. So my philosophy is to teach people how to take control of their investments and how to invest without the help of financial advisors, bankers, and so on. I believe that investing is very simple if you know what is going on behind the scenes of the financial industry. So it took me approximately 7 years to learn that, and I developed my system of investing. It's a 5-step system where I teach my clients how to do everything, from the financial literacy to financial protection, how to protect yourself in case something bad happens to you, insurance products, investing in gold and silver, then long-term investing, how to invest for the long run with the lowest possible costs, and also how to avoid the short-term trading pitfalls, because a lot of people go into the short-term trading, forex and options and stocks and so on, and this is not a smart thing to do, because basically all the investors that go into the short-term trading game, they lose their money. It's way worse than gambling in Las Vegas, for example. So I give them complete system how to do it, and when they apply this system in their life, and it's very simple to do it, they can win the financial game very easily. So it's a complete system, and I tell them everything that I know in a very structured way in just 2 days. So it's a very, very powerful program. The main promise I give to my students is that this will be the only investing course that they will ever need, and I stand behind that promise. So it's in 2 days everything that you ever need to know about investing, and it's very, very powerful.
Wow. Now that is a bold promise. I would imagine we have maybe some listeners in different countries, here in the U.S. and Canada, all across Europe, Asia, South America, and they might be saying, does your system work for me? I'm different, or I'm in a different part of the world. Does this system really apply to all different types of situations, or is it just for a particular kind of investor? How would you answer that?
That's a good question. So my system works all around the world, because I already had my seminars in Italy, in United Kingdom, for the US audience, for Eastern Europe audience, for Asian audience. So basically all around the world, it's the same things. There are the same products that are bad, that are the same products that are good, and people from all around the world can buy the same products from different brokers and the other institutions. So it's the same all around the world. Maybe some products are called a little differently and so on, but these are just minor details. When you know the principles, it's the same anywhere in the world. So it's really very simple. And it doesn't matter from where do you come from.
Awesome. You've got the seminar or the 2-day workshop where you teach your financial principles. Do you have any other products or services or anything that you're working on right now that's got you really excited?
Oh yeah. The main thing that I'm focusing right now is writing my book. My book will be published by the end of this year. The title is The $1 Million Decision, how a simple investing decision can make you $1 million richer. So this will be an amazing book. It's approximately 60% finished right now, and you will just love it. Because my goal for this book is that it will be by far the best investing book for, let's say, normal person, not for some professional investors, because they will hate it. People from the financial industry will hate this book because it will really make them lose a lot of business. Because people, when they read this book, they will see how easy it is and how their financial advisors and other financial institutions are taking away a lot of their money. So, but it will be for a normal guy who doesn't care about investing, who just wants to really make the financial game of his life or her life work for him. Who wants to make some good long-term investments, not lose a lot of money in the process, avoid the main pitfalls. So it's really, really a good book, very simple to understand book. I explain everything in a very simple to understand language.
That sounds really interesting. So, Robert, how can our listeners reach out and connect with you online?
Well, the best way maybe would go to my website. It's robertrolih.com. So it's robertrolih.com. So robertrolih.com. You can also get my free ebook on my webpage. I have a couple of freebies there. You can download them and read a couple of my articles and so on. Or you can also contact me via Facebook. Just search for Robert Rolih, R-O-L-I-H, and you will find me. You can message me there, or you can even send me an email to robert@robertrolih.com. So all these ways are possible.
Awesome. Any final thoughts or words of wisdom you would like to share with our listeners as we close?
Yeah, why not? So maybe just a couple of simple rules to follow when you are investing. The first rule maybe is that investing is very simple. It's only the financial industry that works hard to complicate things. Why? Because when you give them your money, and they manage your money for you, they have already won. So remember, the person who controls the money always wins.
I like that. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah. And the second rule is that the most aggressively sold financial products are the worst ones for investors. So when you see a product that is very heavily advertised and all the financial advisors are recommending it, there is a good chance that it's a very bad financial product for you. So just stay away from it. So this would be my two final thoughts.
Excellent. Well, words of wisdom from Mr. Robert Rolih of robertrolih.com. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today on Business Innovators Radio. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.